Yo, what's good guys, I'm Fire here back with another video, and today we're going to be bringing you guys another defense in Madden 22. This is one that's pretty good at containing the quarterback. I'm also going to show you some of my favorite coverage adjustments, how I like to use it, and just overall how the play runs against the pass and the run. We're going to be in the nickel normal formation out of the 4-6 defensive playbook. It's a playbook that I've been running a lot recently since I've been running this dollar. You guys have seen a lot of dollar videos. Yesterday we uploaded a 3-3-5 normal video. If you are interested in that, make sure you check it out. You can see it at the end screen in the last like 10 seconds of the video. It should be up there so you can watch it after this one. But we're going to be in the nickel normal formation. Pretty basic formation, pretty balanced. It's just a formation that's good like every single year pretty much. You can't go wrong with a nickel normal formation. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into it. If you want, get safeties at linebackers. I'm going to leave one linebacker, one safety in there, just to create some balance. And the play we're going to run is going to be this cover 6 invert on that right hand side. You can go ahead and turn autoflip off, or on rather, if you want. And we're going to leave our zone drops at default for this. I'll show a variety of setups, so I will mention when to change your zone drops to certain things and when to leave them normal. And we're going to start out with them as default. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it, going up against this trips tight end. All right, so here we are in the game and taking a look at what we have. Just a basic formation: 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, 3 cornerbacks, and your 2 safeties. Of course, you turn safeties at linebacker. That will allow you to get 7 defensive backs on the field. And of course, if you want to, you can go ahead and put some outside linebackers at defensive end, as I kind of did here with Josh Allen on that right side. So the first thing you want to do is base a line, and then I like to go ahead and pinch the defense. So that's going to bring those linebackers in, and it's going to pinch your defense. What pinching the defense means is it's going to go ahead and actually press your corners. It's going to pinch your D-line and then pinch your linebackers, hence the name, which I'm sure you could have determined. But that's what you want to do. I just like this look a little bit better. It looks a lot harder to run on, so if I'm running the football, I would definitely not really want to run against this box. Now, you still could pick up some decent yards, just depending on everything, but of course, that was without usering, so keep that in mind. But with the user, this is a pretty good run defense as well, which I might show as well. So again, baseline, pinch, and that's going to be your start. It's also going to create kind of the same look. Now, if you're in man coverage, that's a exclusion, but other than that, a lot of these zone coverage plays will appear the same when you do those 2 adjustments. Now, as far as the play you're going to use in this cover 6 invert, you're going to use the vert hook. If the trips were on the right, you would use this player right here. Since the trips are on the left, you're going to use Miles Jack in this vertical hook zone. And yeah, so for this first setup, all we're really going to do is this and contain. But I want you to watch the contains. It seems like in this formation they contain a lot better. So we're going to go ahead, kind of snap the ball here, and you see really good contains on that right side and that left side immediately. This is just a good formation to get good contains in, and this is going to help you against those guys who love escape artists. They're using Derrick Henry. They're using whoever else, Jalen Hurts. I don't know who you guys are using these days, Kyler Murray. I use Justin Herbert myself, so I'm not rocking with escape artists, but Russell Wilsons of the world, those types of guys with escape artists, all know what players I'm talking about, the PA boot over guys. And this is going to be a good defense against those guys. And I know they're the most frustrating guys to play against because, for me, they are my most frustrating player to go against. So that is the reasoning behind it. So again, all we did was base a line, pinch your defense, and then contain for this first setup. Now, as far as this passing play, you probably noticed that the coverage was actually really good on that play, and we're going to snap the ball. Coverage looks pretty good. Now, it also depends on what play they're running. The match can be a little bit weird. Like you noticed, for whatever reason there, I think our actual deep half actually ended up matching onto the weird tight end post route. So let's say you don't necessarily want to do that. You don't have to go ahead and press, I don't think. I think if we just pinch our defense, we do have to baseline to get this guy in, but you don't have to press, I guess. I guess you could just kind of pinch your D-line manually and then pinch your linebackers manually. And I think that would defend a little bit better against it. So you can kind of lurk over here with A and then defend everything. But that's a very exclusive play. you're not really going to see this pass wide post play. A little bit of a more realistic play would be something like verticals. So if they were running verticals, again, we'll set up the defense the same way. Contain over here. As I think our buttons might have got stuck a little bit, so I'm just going to snap the ball, but we would have normally contained. And you see here, coverage really good against a play like verticals, especially with how that tight end route was defended, that corner route. Now, keep in mind with your user, a lot of times what you're doing with your users, you're just making up ground. So a lot of these guys are going to get matched up on. You see 3 receivers on the left, all matched up on, but you're just going to make up ground. Now, the deep half is going to play a little bit weird. Now, it's fine that it's baseline pressed, your deep half, because you do have those quarters that will match, but if you don't want that, you can actually manually move them back if need be. But you see what area is going to be open. It's going to be this hard flat a lot of the time. So initially, if I notice him going with a combination like this, I'm going to sprint to the flat and defend that. But you see just the corner out normally defended. Now, again, the one zone that's not going to match in this situation is going to be the curl flat. It's going to be that right side of the field as well. So keep that in mind. But again, if I want to, we can move this guy back just so we don't get bombed. And again, make sure you contain. But as far as, again, like a verticals type of a play, the ball is snapped. I'm going to go ahead, lurk out here, make sure that's not being able to be thrown on, and then go ahead and make the easy play, make the easy interception, whatever the case may be. And overall, you see just pretty good coverage right there. So now another way I've actually ran this is kind of a unique way. What we're going to do here is, again, baseline. And if you want a way to go ahead and pinch without actually having those DBs pressed, I think what you do is you first pinch, and then if you baseline after, I think that's a way to do it. So if you don't want to press, you want to pinch your defense first, I think, and then baseline after, and I don't think those guys get pressed anymore. So, and it still brings your guys in, your linebackers and your defensive linemen. Now, another setup I like was to actually deep half A. So now we have A on the deep half. Now what do you do with B? You can actually put B in a cloud flat over here. That kind of creates your cover 6 if you wanted to do that. Or what you could actually do is go ahead and put your user over there. And then with B, you could actually like man him up. Or if you wanted to, what you could do is actually kind of send him off the edge. This is really good defense against PA boot over. So you would actually blitz him, and he's going to be standing over here. This is really good defense against again, PA boot over, and you're just going to use her on that right side of the field. So we'll set up like verticals. Again, I don't know what the setup will be, something like this. But you set up verticals, and then we just kind of lurk over here, defend everything, and you see the rest should be matched on that left side. So you're never really going to have to worry about the left side of user. The middle of the field, you have a 3 receiver hook, so maybe you're watching middle of the field routes that come from left to right, but that should be going into your area anyway. But yeah, it's a pretty good defense. And again, taking a look at the blitz, what this cornerback does, he's not necessarily going to get free. I think he gets a little bit better if he's less far outside. And again, we did block our running back here, but it's going to be good. You know, when people run PA boot over, what are they doing? They're immediately holding the right trigger to cancel the play action, and then they're going ahead and running immediately to the right side. If they do that, they're running right into somebody. So either way, with the contain, let's say for whatever reason they are able to escape your contain. Maybe they step up in the pocket. Contains don't work every time. Then you have an extra guy off the edge, and you're either A, forcing them to run to the left, which nobody wants to do when they're running PA boot over, or just stand tall in the pocket, which, if you notice, a lot of the bad players have terrible pocket presence when they're using escape artists because they're so used to just being able to just roll out, scramble out, that when you force them to stand in the pocket, they almost get antsy and just sprint either into a contain or the back of somebody or a hit stick. So really the key to stopping those players is to kind of just make them go ahead and sit in the pocket. That's all you can do, and that's probably the best thing. Rushing 4, rushing 5, so you should get pretty quick pressure. So again, if you do not want the corner press, we're going to pinch first and then baseline, and now you notice that the corners are backed off. If you do want them pressed, what you want to do is baseline first and then pinch, and that will have them pressed. So again, that's all you got to do. And B, I guess, is a little bit closer against trips. He would probably be in the same spot against bunch. So if we go ahead, let's say we blitz that B corner, here would be your setup. And again, put A on just like a little deep half, get him in a little zone. And then with your user, once again, you recognize that you're going to defend that area. So we'll go ahead and snap the ball. And again, sometimes when he's that close, the biggest worry about him being closer is that the contain sometimes doesn't work. So you notice because The tackle slid over so fast to block the corner. Josh Allen stopped containing, which is my biggest concern. So again, maybe just manually baseline press, and that moves him out way further, and then you can actually blitz him from out here if you wanted. So again, you would baseline press, and then you would pinch your D-line, pinch your linebackers, which is a lot more steps, but it could be something that is potentially necessary for you if you really want to get this good containment. And now you see Josh Allen, or I guess maybe doesn't contain, but we actually force a disengage. So that first way we did it definitely worked, probably the best. And I don't know if that was a cause of play action, but you can also just buy one of these guys, or even potentially I could user them. But again, probably the best way to run it is just stock. As far as other ways to do it, maybe you go ahead and again kind of turn this into a cover 6, but at this point you might as well just run cover 6. So again, you could just run it like this and then take anything deep with your user, which wouldn't be a bad way to run it, but again, it kind of just is standard cover 6 type stuff. So you see, again, just coverage pretty good out of this, and you can't really ask for much more out of a good play like this. Now, as far as getting pressure, it's pretty difficult to get pressure, I would say. Not really reliable. Probably the best way would be, I think, to send these two guys, just blitz them all. Snap the ball, kind of slide over, and then again, you will get one person if they block 5. So if you really want to send the heaters, you can just blitz that slot corner, blitz one of your linebackers, and you will get pressure. But again, just might not be as good as any other blitz. It's not like a 4-man, 5-man rush, so it's not going to necessarily be money every time. But if you notice him holding onto the ball, you want to get the ball out of his hands, that's a good way to do it. Put a little bit of extra pressure on him. So yeah, man, overall just pretty good play. Again, I recommend you try this out. If you're ever struggling against contains, you can start out in whatever formation you want, like a dollar, and then you can move to this, and I do think you would have success. So overall, that's going to do for the video. If you enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, follow all my links. I'm going to start posting on TikTok more. Make sure you guys go follow the TikTok. I'm actually going to make one as we speak right after this video, so go check out the TikTok. I already have a couple of good videos on there, but I have not posted in a while, so we're going to get that back up. Hopefully posting, you know, a couple times a week, if not more, hopefully. So make sure you guys follow that. Turn on notifications, because those will be exclusive videos that won't be on my YouTube channel. Exclusive tips, rather. But that's going to do the video, and peace. I'm out of here.